Welcome back again. This is Maurice Dimba, and we are going to the next lesson. This is content number 11. 12, we've just handled GAT creation and connection detailing. Of course, it's complete, and we're moving to number 12, one by one. Now, on number 12, we are going to handle, or I'm going to show you how we can create GAT anti-sag rod, or this is GAT anti-sag rod placement, how we can place an anti-sag rod and connection configuration on GATs. Of course, how we can configure the GAT configuration, or how we can set the connection of the anti-sag rod. Of course, this is the key part, configuring the connection of the anti-sag rod. Let's go straight to Tekla environment and see what I'm talking about. This is this, and it's about to go down. Right off. Let's go to Tekla structures environments and leave jokes aside. A joke a lot. Now, this is where we are. What do we want to do? We want to create anti-sag rod because at 6 meter span, if the thickness of our purlin is too thin, it might wobble, if not stiffened by anti-sag rod. So we want to place the anti-sag rod in between, like we have done on the purlins. Is it that right? So we get the tool at applications and component here. So we just key in, just type PEB, or just type PEB, of course. So I'll pick this tool. So having picked that tool, we have the same settings. So I'm going to pick this, and that, and this one, and this one, and this one, and that one, and that. And I'll press my middle button in the mouse. And if I press that, a small dialog box will appear. Sometimes you will not see this dialog box, and you have to minimize and search it. You can minimize the screen because sometimes it appears behind the Tekla structures window. Tekla structures window sometimes appears in front, sometimes it appears behind the screen. So you have to minimize your screen to access it and click no. Don't click yes, please. Click no. And we have this anti-sag rod in place. Nice and nicely placed. Isn't this interesting? Of course. Is someone sleeping in my class? Of course you. And if you're sleeping, I hope you'll wake up and ask some relevant questions. Now, I'll select this. You've seen individual selection because someone was just sleeping on my class. We've forgotten the procedure. Now to select this, because this is a macro and they are grouped. So if you deselect this, you switch off this button, it will not group select. Now that we've made it on, we switched it on. Now the group selection is active. Of course, I'll right click and come to spatial copy, and I want to mirror this. My mirror line is in this line, and I can go ahead and click copy. And is that right? You can see the anti-sag rod on the other side and the sag rod on the other side. So I'll go straight and press my control button on my keyboard, and while pressing control button, I'll select this anti-sag rod like that. Then I'll go ahead and right click and pick copy. Is it that funny? Is it that interesting? Is it that easy to do? Is it that followable? Is it that easy to do? Now I'll pick it from this point. I'll place it right there. Let me just do it manually so that you get something clean and clear. So I'm going to place that way. I'll place my anti-sag rods that way, and that way. I'll right click and click interrupt to get out of that copy command. That is the meaning of interrupt. You are interrupting the process of copying. The moment you interrupt the process of copying, you're opening the exit door of that copy command. That is the meaning of interrupt. It's like you're shutting it down before you move to the next command. Now let me minimize this pane or applications command window So if I come to navigate here, pick rotate my mouse and I'll pick my rotation point, and you can see I have this in place. I have this in place. And if I rotate this, you can see this is interesting. This is interesting. This kind of structure is applicable if material storage, for material storage like clinical piling or gypsum or pozzolan poured inside. So the trucks will be moving that way. So that in that case, we don't need the gearbox columns. Isn't that understood? But if it is a warehouse and our warehouse will have the doors on the gable side, we'll put the gable columns on this side and the gable columns on the side and create some exit, entry and exit doors. Is it that interesting? Is it that creative enough? I hope sometimes someone's not sleeping in my class. Of course not. Someone's not sleeping in my class. Now, I think before we wind up our course, or before we move to, or after handling everything, we will place the gable columns. The gable columns, the positions have been identified by the grid lines here. If you come to edit, we can access this ruler here. This ruler is just an indication or a symbol of a measuring tape. This is the measuring tape. So we'll place our measuring tape from that end and stretch our measuring tape all the way to this location. You can see it is 5 meters long. So our first gable column will be here and stretching to the bottom end of our rafter. Therefore, we'll create a connection between that gable column and the rafter. And that details, please. Just be patient. We will do it later on. Please, can you allow me to meet you in the next lesson? I'm Maurice Dimba, and I'll be happy if we can connect this lesson with the next lesson smoothly. Smoothly means you've understood everything and you connect everything from topic to topic. Isn't that interesting? If you understand everything, you can do this by yourself. That is my reward. Thank you. Allow me to meet you in the next lesson. Right click and interrupt and go ahead and close.